So something crazy just happened in AI. Ilya Sutskever has found something worth scaling, and let's actually get into what this means. So today, Safe Superintelligence Inc. is announcing the fact that they have a long-term strategic partnership with Nvidia. And this is the company that was founded by Ilya Sutskever, okay? Now, there are certain details that are really important, and in this video, I'll go over the 9, and this is the first one. So first, the most insane thing about all of this is that Nvidia is making a substantial investment in SSI, and Reuters is reporting that this investment is around $5 billion. And you want to know the craziest part about all of this is that this partnership is going to allow them to increase their compute by 10 times over the next 12 months using Nvidia's next-gen systems. But the most important thing out of all of this, the one point I want you guys to know before we dive into all of this, okay, and this is the most interesting detail that most people may have missed, and this is the most telling, is that they said they've reached a point where our research is worth scaling. Because for anyone who's been following Ilya Sutskever over the past 2 years, that sentence means so much more. And remember, guys, Nvidia has basically revealed that it now actually received rare access to Safe Superintelligence closely guarded secrets before entering the partnerships. And I mean, this is absolutely insane. We have to figure out what on earth did Ilya Sutskever find out that they are now going to be scaling? Is it AGI? Is it SSI? Is it a new system? This is insane. Now, to understand why this is such a crazy big deal, you first have to figure out who Ilya Sutskever is. So Ilya Sutskever isn't just another AI startup founder. He was a co-founder and the former chief scientist of OpenAI, and his work has touched several of the breakthroughs that created modern AI. His research history includes AlexNet to sequence learning, work related to AlphaGo, the GPT family, and Nvidia's announcement even credits him with spreading research that ultimately led to the reasoning models like OpenAI's O1. And remember, guys, in 2024, he left OpenAI and created Safe Superintelligence. And SSI is unusual because this company is essentially unlike any other AI company. They have one objective, not an AI assistant, not an API business, not enterprise software. Their only goal, okay, and their only product, okay, Ilya Sutskever's company is Safe Superintelligence. And for roughly 2 years, they revealed almost nothing publicly about what they're building, which makes what happened this week that much more interesting. And we started getting clues about what he was working on at the end of 2024. You see, if we rewind, and this is the third point, back to December 2024 at NER IPS, Ilya made a prediction which received a huge amount of attention. He basically said that pre-training as we know it would end. The basic argument was that compute can continue increasing, hardware can continue getting better, but the amount of high-quality human-generated internet data isn't increasing at the same rate. As he put it, we effectively have only one internet. So the recipe that produced GPT-3, GPT-4, and the original generation of frontier models, more data, more computes, larger training runs, couldn't simply continue unchanged forever. Importantly, he wasn't saying AI progress would stop. He was saying that eventually we would need a different recipe. And that distinction becomes increasingly important later. You see, in November of 2025, Ilya gave his long-awaited interview with Dwarkesh Patel. And this was one of the clearest explanations where we got to understand what he thinks is wrong with current AI. He divided recent AI history into two periods. Roughly 2012 to 2020 was the age of researchers, you know, where researchers experimented with different architectures and ideas. Then from now, it's basically 2020 to 2025, which came the age of scaling. Once companies figured out the reliable recipe that reliably improved with more data and compute, the obvious thing to do was make it larger. But he argued now that we're moving back into the age of research. And interestingly, he said this would be the age of research with big computers. And one of the most interesting things that he said in this interview, when asked how will Safe Superintelligence make money, because they essentially had VC, I'm not sure if it was VC capital or whatever, but I think they had around, you know, millions and millions of dollars, and they were valued at around $1 billion. When they were asked how would they make money, he basically said that Safe Superintelligence is focused on research first, and that viable ways to make money will reveal themselves. And if the research works, he expects lots of possible answers, but he's not optimizing the company around revenue right now. And he says that they have enough compute to research because bigger labs spend a large share of their capital on inference capacity, product engineering, and sales, which narrows the real gap. And if SSI's technical approach pays off, they can decide among multiple monetization paths after demonstrating the capability. Essentially, what he means here is that, look, all these companies right now are busy thinking about how they can squeeze more out of the customer, how they can, instead of charging $20 a month, charge $200 a month. They have to inference the LLMs. They have to spend time marketing, handling PR, handling lawsuits. All of that is wasted effort. His company is literally just going to focus on superintelligence. And with all of that energy and compute going straight to there, once they actually figure out a system that can do that, then they can figure out how to monetize it later. Because if you do have superintelligence, people are going to pay hand over fist for that. Now, of course, you can see some of the points that he made from the interview here. And in that interview, he basically lays out, what he thinks current AI is missing, the AIs that we use right now. And one of those biggest points is generalization. So humans can learn something from a surprisingly small number of examples and then apply that understanding to somewhere completely different. AI systems aren't nearly as efficient at doing this. They can dominate extremely difficult benchmarks and then all of a sudden fail on situations that seem trivial to humans. And Ilya believes that that gap might be one of the biggest things standing between today's AI systems and much more general intelligence. He also gave a very interesting description of what superintelligence might actually look like. Not necessarily some finished machine that answers and instantly knows everything, but instead an incredibly powerful continual learner, something that can enter a completely new environment, learn quickly, and keep improving after deployment. And importantly, he suggested that achieving this may require new machine learning ideas rather than simply making today's models larger. And so this is where we get onto the sixth very important point, because there's clarification from Ilya Sutskever. You see, after that interview, some people interpreted Ilya as saying that scaling itself was finished, but he clarified that this wasn't his argument. Scaling the current systems could absolutely continue producing improvements, and the problem was that he believed something important would still be missing. That's a subtle but really important distinction. His argument wasn't compute doesn't matter anymore. It was closer to we need to figure out what the next thing worth applying enormous amounts of compute to actually is. And in the interview, he explicitly questioned whether simply making the existing recipe 100 times larger would actually transform everything, while saying that larger scale would still make a difference. And this is where today's announcement suddenly makes sense. And so this is why this comparison is so interesting, because last year the message coming from Ilya Sutskever was essentially we need research again, the old recipe isn't enough, something is missing, and safe superintelligence need to figure out what that thing is. And now they're saying recently our research has reached a point where it is worth scaling. Now that's a major change in the language. It doesn't mean they've solved AGI. It doesn't mean SSI have secretly had superintelligence sitting inside a data center. We don't know what they've discovered, but it strongly suggests that they've internally crossed some kind of threshold. They found a research direction that they believe behaves well enough that increasing compute by 10 times is now worthwhile. So perhaps the progression is old scaling recipe, research, discover something new, and scale the new thing. And that's why I think saying that Ilya simply has returned to scaling misses the point. He may be scaling something different that we've never seen before. And I think Daniel Levy, his post summarizes the philosophy perfectly. He writes, deep learning happens when a small crack team operates a big computer, and that computer just got bigger. Now, SSI was intentionally constructed as a relatively focused research organization, and now that team is getting access to Nvidia's Vera Rubin platform and enough infrastructure to increase its available compute by roughly an order of magnitude. And Nvidia's announcement says that SSI spent the last 2 years quietly pursuing a new research direction for powerful and robustly aligned AI. So this doesn't sound like SSI suddenly deciding, actually, let's just train a larger conventional language model. At least publicly, they're presenting this as taking the research direction they've developed in stealth and giving it substantially more resources. And this is probably the biggest reason that I'm personally paying attention to this. Nvidia didn't just randomly hand them more GPUs. According to Nvidia's own announcement, the company entered this partnership after obtaining rare access to SSI's closely guarded research. Nvidia and SSI are also planning to collaborate on advancing Nvidia's current and future compute platforms using SSI's insights into where AI is heading. And then Reuters reports that Nvidia also committed $5 billion in equity investment. Now, none of this has proved that SSI have discovered the path to superintelligence. We could be very careful about, making that call, but it is probably the strongest external signal that we've had so far that something meaningful is actually happening inside the company. For 2 years, they've essentially said, trust us, we're doing the research. And now they're saying, look, that research is ready to scale. And Nvidia has seen enough of that to place a massive bet behind it. So perhaps the most interesting question now isn't whether the age of scaling is over, it's it's what exactly has Ilya Sutskever decided is finally worth scaling?
This is probably the most interesting new clue we've had about what Ilya Sutskever is actually doing inside Safe Superintelligence. He says their research is focused on overlooked aspects of how the human brain functions, which suggests SSI may be looking beyond simply making today's transformer models bigger, and instead trying to understand mechanisms that let humans learn, generalize, and adapt so efficiently. That fits with Sutskever's broader argument that the next major leap in artificial intelligence may require genuine research breakthroughs rather than just more pre-training and compute. And this becomes even more interesting because Nvidia has now made a substantial investment in SSI after reportedly being given a rare look at the company's research. So while we still don't know exactly what SSI has discovered, this is one of the strongest hints yet that Ilya may be pursuing a fundamentally different route to superintelligence, trying to capture some missing property of biological intelligence that current AI systems don't have.